Hey, hi guys. Welcome back to AWS Advanced Course Content and Discussion. So we all know we are already started discussing about IAM certain features which comes under IAM service. In this lecture, right, we are going to discuss about remaining part about IAM features. Also, by end of the session, right, we are going to discuss some of the certifications questions, sample certification questions from our IAM. Okay, likewise, we are planning to cover one project use case plus certification question. That is our action plan for our upcoming videos, right? Yes. Quick recap. In last videos from IAM, we had a chance to discuss about what is root account and how we can create IAM users when we are working in any project, right? Obviously, we'll be working on creating multiple IAM users only. Also, we have discussed the importance of group and we have discussed about AWS managed policies and customer managed policy. Those things, right? We got a chance to explore. Okay. Apart from that, if you go to the user section, right, you would be able to see all the user which are available in this user. You would be able to see, for example, if you go to any one of the user called Hari, that gives you the ARN about that user. Mostly, right, in AWS, any resource if you take, that will have a unique ARN. Okay, so that is the system we'll use to refer, and created some basic information you will be able to see. Followed by right, you can use there is something called permissions, groups, tag, security credential, access advisor, like various small features are there. These same sections are applicable for the groups as well. Starting from the permission, we would be able to see how many number of AWS managed policy, custom managed, those are attached. That information we can see. That is something called permission boundary. So whatever the permissions you have assigned, there will be some global standard will be there if you go any project. There will be some global standard will be there if you go any project. Those kind of things, right? This particular permission boundary we can apply it. For an example, we have provided an administrator access to this particular user called Hari. Okay, if we feel like even though you got administrator access, we feel we don't want to hurry to delete something in the VPC level. VPC network level. Okay, networking. So Hari does not want to touch, even though you got administrator full access. Those kind of the specific restriction can be applied by giving a set permission boundary. For enabling permission boundary, it's not a difficult task. Please, you need to go to the policy, quickly create one policy. Okay, go to JSON. Here, if you go action for the actions, right, I'll give star anything you can access action. Okay, in the action also probably right search like a VPC or for now, right, example. So addition to that, right, we can add a one more source, something called one more section we are going to add, which is for adding a new particular new section, that is to enable a VPC. To take that, and I'm going to take one of the policy as a reference. You open that new tab because currently this user attached with the administrator policy. Expand this, right, you should be able to see action is effect they given us allow. Okay, action star all they have given. I'll put one comment here. I will copy the same, paste it over. Okay, maybe sit. I'll give like something like any user understanding. I will give deny over here. Deny action here. If we go delete VPC, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give easy to searching for delete any option. Delete VPN info is there. PC connection is there. This is what I was trying to looking for. Okay, this. Okay, probably we cannot delete any VPC. Same way, right? We put I suppose not delete any subnet. So like that, whatever you want, right? You can add it here. Okay, so you have done that. So according to this policy, right, we can do any activity, but you are not supposed to delete something into it. Okay, so that is the action plan. So once you have done this, right, on next, okay, once you click on next, it will come like a policy name. We can give like a permission boundary, something like that. Full access to all the resources, limited access to AC to create a policy. A policy has been created. Once the policy has been created, right, then you can go there. You can simply map the permission boundary. Refresh. Okay, permission boundary came. You can click on it. Set the permission. As soon as you set the permission boundary, right, for the user called Hari, it will be mapped. Currently, I am working with the Hari user only, so I don't want to assign it to myself directly. Let me assign to different user called Kumar. Farum, I'll go there like that. I'm assigned. So the purpose of adding the permission boundary is very simple. Where in the case of whenever go and access using this user called Kumar, even though you have full access, you will not be able to delete anything in the VPC. You can ask me, hey, this can be done it in the permission section itself. You can create a custom policy. You can assign to the user directly, right? Why we need permission? You ask me like that. See, not all the organization companies standard we cannot write a custom policy. Be very much difficult if you focus on each name. So permission boundary mostly for denying something. If your organization across globally you wanted to restrict something, so one central policy you can use something called a permission boundary. Okay, that way it will be useful under. Okay, so here you can go and check user is part of which group. Currently not part of any group, it's empty. Tag. Okay, tag in the sense in AWS whenever you create any resource, right, that information future wanted to track something in terms of billing, in terms of taking a report, those kind of things. If you are adding tag to your resources, right, that will be added value. When you click on add a new tag, you can add it, like fraud resources, yes, something like that. You can add actually cost allocation, something like that. You can add. So every organization, they follows their own standard tagging. Actually, you can follow this tagging mechanism. Okay, coming to the tag, it's very much flexible. By the way, anytime you can edit and you can add it again. It's not an okay. Security credential and all, yeah. This is the console login link. If user forgot, we can provide them again. Or the console password when it's the last updated. Okay. Multi-factor authentication. There is something called MFA. Nowadays in Google email and all, whenever we log in, the OTP, it's popping up in our mobile, right? Where we logged in our mobile. Similarly, multi-factor authentication. There are different applications are there. Something called Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator. So you can use any one of the authenticator to ensure the MFA can be enabled. Okay. By click on this, you can assign MFA device. Here you can generate access key and secret. Future, we'll talk about this. Mainly access key, secret key useful when you are interacting with the AWS through programmatic. Okay, cool. Access advisor. Access advisor shows the service that this user can access those services where last access. Okay, we can review this data. Okay, those things can validated over. Okay, fine. So apart from that, you know about user groups, you know about users. Yeah, let me talk about roles. Policies also you already know. Okay, coming to the role, right? Mainly role. So why you are creating users? There will be a human who onboarding to your project for providing him access for the user have to interact with the AWS services. In that case, right, you are providing the specific user creation. There is something called roles in AWS, which means within your AWS account itself, one AWS service wants to authenticate another AWS. Example, we have a service available called Lambda. So one of the automation service. Okay, serverless automation service. When you open this Lambda service, right, what will happen is you can execute a code, you can automate it. For example, every weekend you can stop the server. Every Monday you can start the server. Like these kind of automation can be done. So Lambda is one of the AWS service. EC2 is another AWS service. So one AWS service wants to communicate another AWS service. Mostly we'll go with IAM role. Okay, this is one use case. If you have a EC2 server, okay, you have a server in EC2. You wanted to, access this EC2 instance to S3. You wanted to access this EC2 server, virtual server to your S3 data online storage bucket. In that case, right, obviously your instance, right, EC2 instance need a permission to access your S3. Those kind of things and all, we can create a roles in IAM. If you go to the roles, it will help you to create. Click on create role. Multiple different options are there. Okay, these and all we'll see obviously in upcoming classes. But basically, what is role is this for AWS service you are going to create. Use case, I'm going to create a role for EC2. Okay, so these many options are there. For us, right, we'll go with the EC2 instance alone. First, you can assign some permission to the role. Click on role to administrator. Okay, you can provide the name to the role. Okay, EC2 server role. You can click on create. Okay, accessing role is most secure way in AWS. Okay, accessing through role is most secure way as per AWS recommendation. So mostly, right, we do have many other features as well. Something like AWS cross account and all. We'll use the same role. Multiple different options are there. Multiple different security features are there when you are accessing your AWS account from the role. Okay, this is what role about. So, when coming to the identity providers, so when you wanted to sync your AWS authentication from another third-party single sign-on, example, Azure Active Directory or on-prem Active Directory, when those separate provider going to authenticate your AWS account, those identity provider can be added over here for enabling single sign-on kind of features can be enabled over here. This is your account setting. Here only we will confirm whether what is your password, character. One uppercase we supposed to use, one lowercase we supposed to use, numbers. So those settings and feature, right, will come under this account setting. This way we would be able to work small things with IAM. Right. So fine guys, now it's a time for us to review our certifications questions. By the way, let me just share my screen. I have a dedicated presentation for certification questions and answers. Right. So let's get started. Let's have a AWS certification number 1. You have a multiple IAM users here. AWS have a multiple IAM user in your AWS account, and you want to provide a new user access to the S3 bucket. So which means you have lots of IAM users available in AWS account. You want to provide a new user access to S3 bucket, but restrict them from deleting any object in the bucket. You have online storage S3 bucket available. The user, he can do anything, but he is supposed not delete anything from your online store. Okay. Which of the following policy should you attach to the user to meet this? Literally, this is kind of writing a customized AWS customer policy. So we need to allow user to add something, but he is not supposed to delete. Look at the option A: allow get object, put object, and delete object on the S3 bucket. Yeah, obviously they are not allowing us to delete, right? So this is not going to be the correct answer, I believe, as far as my understanding. So delete object will not be. So A is not correct. Coming to B, right? Allow get object and put the object on the S3 bucket and deny delete object. I think this looks something reasonable, allowing us to get something from the bucket, put something into the bucket, but it's not allowing us to delete it. So this could be something meaningful. Yeah, third one, allow full access to the S3 bucket. Well, yeah, no, that is not the correct. So we cannot give the full access because that's not the requirement. Always we need to go with the minimum least. Okay. Attach the Amazon S3 read-only access policy to the user. No, if you are attaching read-only, you cannot add something data into the. So most probably the answer would be B, I believe. Yeah, B is going to be the answer for this. So the second, AWS IAM certification example question. An application running on EC2 instance needs to access an S3 bucket in same AWS account. We have an AWS account. We have application running in EC2 virtual server. S3, you have a bucket available. What is the best way to provide secure access without using hard-coded access? So I told you one AWS service to another AWS service you wanted to access. AWS EC2 is one of the AWS service. S3 is another AWS service. Within the service you wanted to access, we cannot create a user access key something. We need to only go and create a role only, but let's see the option you have provided. Store the access key in EC2 instance and use them in the application. That is not secure way, right? You cannot store the access. So that's what they are telling without hard coding that. So the second option is create an IAM user with the access to S3 bucket and share the access key with the application. Again, they are asking us to create the access key only. So end of day, right? Our requirement is to do not go with any access. Let's see for the third option. Attach an IAM role to the EC2 instance that grants necessary permission to the bucket. I think this work. We can create a role. We can attach to EC2 instance. So that will access your okay. So, but still we'll see the last answer. Use the root user credential to access the S3 bucket. No, that's not right. So most probably the answer would be C. You can create IAM role attached to user instance and the necessary. Okay. That's where use. So hope you have undergone various situations and projects, certification on IAM service. We are giving a very good introduction to IAM service and how to do the thing. Yeah, obviously when we are discussing Lambda, when we are discussing EC2, we'll again come back and we'll discuss the missing part and necessary part in IAM. Only then we can make a proper flow. Alright. So in next video, I'll catch you guys with the next topic. So something called EC2. We'll go and discuss some of the projects, some of the certification questions, all those things with respect to EC2. Until then, bye bye guys. Thank you.